Alright, what's going on, guys? So if I were to ask you one thing that comes to mind when you think of Dark Souls, I would put money on the fact that you'd most likely say the challenge of it. And honestly, the challenge is at the core of the game and what makes it what it is. Challenge isn't always a bad thing, but if there's all challenge and no reward, then would it really be fun? I don't think so. But what is the reward that we get from the challenge of Dark Souls? In most games, when you get to that final boss and you beat the game for the first time, there's typically a reward for it. In most games, you'll get some kind of loot you can use in multiplayer, or some special cosmetic item or something to congratulate you on beating the game. But in Dark Souls, aside from the trophy on your Xbox or PlayStation, all you really get are some credits rolling, and then you start the game all over again. And there's a reason for that, and I don't think it's what you think. You see, I think the reward for beating Dark Souls actually lies in the middle of the game. Dark Souls starts out putting you in this cruel world where everything wants to kill you and giving you no sense of direction aside from the fact that there are two bells somewhere in this world that you have to ring. And it's not an easy time figuring out where to go. I know when I first played this game, I spent probably 3 hours running back into that graveyard with the skeletons, getting killed over and over again until I finally realized there is no way I'm going to beat these things. I have to figure out another path to take and another direction to go if I'm ever going to progress in this game. But therein lies the meaning of why the reward lies in the middle of the game, is because Dark Souls isn't a game. It's a work of art. When we typically think of a video game, we think of something that we can throw ourselves into to have a good time, to escape reality a little bit, and explore a virtual world and have a lot of fun. But don't you see, Dark Souls is not like that. And that's what initially turns a lot of people away from Dark Souls, is the fact that it's not very fun when you first start out. And there's a crucial moment right in the middle that I think drives home the point that Dark Souls is not a game, but it's something different. And it actually happens right here. You see, I think the point when you first reach Anor Londo is the reward for beating Dark Souls. No, I can explain the reasoning behind that. You might be thinking, but how would this make sense when we haven't even gotten to the hardest boss in the game yet? How can we get the reward for beating the game when we haven't even beaten it yet? Now, when you get to Anor Londo, obviously it's a beautiful sight, and we could talk about the superficial stuff within the area itself, like the amazing loot of Havel's armor and the weapons. That is probably some of the best in the game. And we could categorize those as rewards themselves, but that's not what I'm talking about. So, when you go to an art museum, and you look at all these paintings and these beautiful sculptures and these creations that these awesome artists have created, what kind of experience is that? You don't feel the satisfaction of going to an art museum when you leave. You feel the satisfaction of it when you're looking at the creations within it during the time that you're there. And when you find a painting that just takes your breath away, what is the moment that you appreciate the most of it? Is it that initial shock and awe of looking at something so beautiful? Or is it when you get a deeper appreciation of the painting and understand that deeper intention that the artist had behind painting it? I would argue that the real best experience is the latter. Now you might see where I'm going with this. Dark Souls is a work that really takes time to deeply and genuinely appreciate it. It's an investment that you actually have to put your own effort into and your own time into to get the full meaning of it. And I really think the experience of playing through Anor Londo as a whole is the return on that investment. I know for me, when I first got to Anor Londo and I finally beat Sin's Fortress, it was an amazing feeling, like I could finally breathe and I could finally take in what I have conquered. I looked out on this golden, majestic city and I thought, this is somewhere worthy of all the effort I've put into. But it doesn't stop there. When you first walk down those golden stairs and you reach the giant guardians, they're not initially hostile. And I think they do an amazing job of driving home the point I'm trying to make. They act like you belong there, like you're worthy of treading on their city. And the only time they get hostile is when you try to go back and loot the chest behind them as if they're saying, hey, you can be here, but don't get greedy. And to me, that's kind of the whole theme of Anor Londo, is like you can be in this great city among the people that have conquered this much of Dark Souls, but don't get greedy because you're not done yet, and that's where Smo and Ornstein come in. Smo and Ornstein are the real guards that prevent you from getting greedy. This is the real moment that separates the upper and lower echelons of Dark Souls players, where you can really stand with the people who have conquered them and say, I have beaten the hardest challenge in Dark Souls. Now, obviously difficulty is subjective, but I think the majority of people that drop Dark Souls either drop it right at the beginning or drop it because they can't beat Smo and Ornstein. And I don't know of a lot of people that have beaten Smo and Ornstein and then not finished the game. You see, it's not until you conquer Smo and Ornstein that you really get rewarded. And when you fling open those doors behind them to the Chamber of the Princess, and all that orchestral music starts playing, and it's like this heavenly feeling, you receive the most powerful item in the game, the Lord Vessel. And I think you really get this feeling of standing with the gods when you get there. Now you have the power to freely travel the world as you want and stand above all the other challenges in your way. It's at this point when you're finally tasked with taking out the most powerful beings in the world, the 4 great ones, and you can now recognize that you have the power to do so. You see, I think this is the actual reward for beating the game. Now you have conquered the challenge and you're no longer this hollowed undead deserving to be locked away forever and capable of nothing. Now you can revel in your accomplishments and really be proud of what you've done. But as you take in that moment, you might accidentally do something and reveal the true nature of this game.
Thou that tarnisheth the Godmother's image, I am Gwyndolin. And thy transgression shall not go unpunished. Thou shalt perish in the twilight of Anor Londo.
Now through your transgression you've uncovered something dark. Now there's even more challenge ahead for you. Your victory was all just an illusion. But therein lies the meaning of the game. The challenge is the meaning. And the beauty of it lies in overcoming the challenges themselves. We all know that feeling of beating a really hard boss, that elation you feel and that rush of adrenaline that gets your system going. And so that sense of satisfaction in the journey through this beautiful world of Dark Souls is the experience that we go on, and we learn so many good lessons along the way, which I'll break down in another video, but that is the appreciation that we should have for this work of art. And I really think the crucial moment that defines that exact thought is playing through Anor Londo itself. And I think it really encapsulates everything that makes Dark Souls a great game, and that is why it's the reward for the challenge. It's the experience, and it's the appreciation for the work of art. But that's gonna do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, and if you don't mind, share my video with somebody else. We're just about to hit 300 subscribers, and that really means a lot to me that y'all are sticking around and loving the videos. So thank you for that, and I'll catch you in the next one.